Basically, I needed an overview of MQ and a bit of deeper details about MQ as well. So I was interested in some kind of a fast track course
Okay.
about MQ, version
o-
9 and IIB broker,
Okay.
right?
o-
So in fact, the requirement is because we have to reorganize our broker systems. So I'm not too well versed in MQ, but we have to do that. So I needed a kind of a fast track approach to what the architecture is and
Okay.
comparing it with the present architecture, how we can improve it.
Okay. Good. Good. I deal with WebSphere MQ system administration. I
Mm-hmm.
don't use IIB.
Oh, you don't do IIB?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, MQ, we still on MQ. They're not using IIB a lot, but MQ should be fine as well.
Okay. Great.
MQ and I already worked on MQ Explorer. I worked quite a bit on MQ also, but I still need to get my facts right. So I can
Okay.
tell you that I'm about 2 weeks old in MQ world.
Okay. Okay. So what I got from you is you are having the basic skills on WebSphere MQ system administration. You
Right.
are looking into more in deep, right?
Right. So that we can structure our systems accordingly. We already have MQ systems there,
Yeah. Yeah.
but they're not up to enterprise level. So we have to kind of create clusters out of those and all that stuff. We have to do all that. So
Okay.
yeah, it's under my group. So I wanted a kind of a fast track approach to how do we, come
Sure.
up with a better solution.
Sure. You can do the training as you like. No problem.
Are you based in India or you are here in US?
I'm in India.
Okay, so what's the how many hours do you dedicate to this?
Uh, if it is a fast track, it takes 20 hours time.
Okay, so the things that I'm looking for is mostly security,
Yeah,
right?
we concentrate on point to point, client and server, clustering,
Yeah,
lock splitting, triggering, security like OAM, channel authentication records,
right,
channeling, we discuss. And also we concentrate on remote administration and maintenance. Already you are aware of MQ Explorer. Through that, how can we monitor all the distributed queue managers uh, from the desktop application? How can we do the administration and all we discuss? Uh,
right.
we concentrate on installation, upgrading the MQ server, migrating the servers. At the time, how the multiple installations are very useful for us. And we discussed failover and failback mechanisms in multi-instance queue manager.
Okay. Uh,
So we need to enable high availability so that most of the times we go with the multi-instance queue manager.
right. Uh, I'm working basically on the AIX back environment. So
Uh,
you,
See, the MQ commands are consistent on all the platforms except installation and uninstallation.
right. But what about the clustering part of it, the high availability part of it?
See, everywhere it is the same. Nowadays we are using NFS4 protocol to share the queue manager data directory and log directory to the NFS client machines for the multi-instance queue manager configuration. So there is
Right.
no.
Right, right. Okay. That's all right. I mean, I was just telling you what my requirements were. I mean, what I needed. That's okay. So,
Yeah,
how soon can we?
shall I share my desktop, Shravin?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, you can see my desktop, right?
Right, right.
So the overview and all not required. We can start from the basics. Yeah. So we deal with IBM MQ version 9 here. In that we have so many advanced features like changing the key manager login type, uh, creating the CPDD file on the client host directly. They have introduced the TLS from version 8.0. Okay, all those things we discuss. You might know Java programming, right?
No, actually not.
You know just what is Java, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in IT for like 18 years, but it's just a
Yeah.
special requirement. I've not worked on MQ. Yeah.
WebSphere MQ built on Java, so
Mm-hmm.
that here everything we can create as an object. Here objects are predefined. MQ predefined objects are 7. They are queue manager, queue, channel, listener, process, nameless, and service.
Right. Quick question. How much different is 8 from 9?
Pardon?
How much different is version 8 from version 9?
Um, you are talking about differences.
Yeah, MQ version 8 and version 9. How much different are they?
Uh, Very few changes made in version 9.
Okay.
Uh, so about security, about changing the login type, creating the CCDT files on the client machines directly. What kind of changes we made? All those things we can discuss. No problem.
Okay.
So these are all MQ predefined objects. We create MQ objects with unique names. Right? To define names to MQ object, we can use cat set like A to Z capital, A to Z small, 0 to 9 digit. Special characters are dot, slash, mod, underscore.
Okay.
This is the only cat set allowed by WebSphere MQ to define names to MQ objects. An object name can have maximum 48 characters except channel. Channel name can have maximum 20 characters.
Okay.
So as a WebSphere MQ system administrator, we need to administrate all the MQ predefined objects and services. In two ways we can administrate MQ server. They are CLI and GUI. GUI nothing but using desktop application or using uh, web application we can administrate. If it is CLI, we have to use the predefined commands. So we concentrate on CLI administration. We don't
Yeah, I
concentrate
would
much
prefer
on.
CLI more than the GUI.
Yeah, yeah.
CLI is better. Yeah.
So MQ provided three types of predefined commands to administrate MQ server. They are control commands, MQSE commands, and PCF commands. As a WebSphere MQ system administrator, no need to work with the PCF commands.
What is PCF? I've been reading quite about. Can you just give me a little? What is PCF command?
PCF stands for Programmable Command Format Commands. These commands are used by the MQ applications to create dynamic queues on the server at runtime.
So the in this case, the application dynamically creates the queues.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes application can delete the queues. It can change the object
Yeah,
definition.
Madhu, just give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute.
Okay.
Just give me 1 minute. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Yeah. As a administrator, no need to work with the PCF command. It is all used by the programs to administrate the objects on the server at runtime. Okay.
Hmm.
That we need to grant the authorities. Otherwise, the programs can't do anything.
Yeah, that's one thing I really need to understand clearly because from my application perspective also.
Yeah, yeah. I show you that. Don't worry.
Okay, great. Thanks.
WebSphere MQ is having multiple predefined services. They are like channel initiator, trigger monitor, command server, blah blah blah. To control all the MQ predefined services, we use the control commands. To administrate all the MQ predefined objects, we use MQSE commands. MQSE stands for MQ script commands. I repeat here, we use control commands to control MQ predefined services. They are channel initiator, trigger monitor, and command server, etc. MQSE stands for MQ script commands. We use these commands to administrate all the MQ predefined objects. I hope you are clear.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, I've been using Run MQSE for a little bit. Yeah.
Yes, you are right. So as you know, hardware, on top of it, we host the operating system. If it is a Windows operating system, we install Windows MQ. If it is a Unix operating system, we install Unix MQ. For suppose here operating system is Windows, we install Windows MQ, then it runs as a service. IBM MQ service, by default its status is running. On top of this, we host or we create MQ objects. So you can see my desktop here, the service icon not that's here MQ service icon not available. So let it be. So can we write a Java program without defining the class file?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Can we write the Java program without defining the class?
Though you have to define the path, right? The class path and all that. Yes.
Not class path. We need to write the Java program. We must define the class, right?
Right. Yeah.
Class encapsulate all the variables and methods.
Right.
If we don't define the class, we cannot write a Java program.
Right.
Similarly,
Right.
queue manager is an initial object. It is first and foremost object. Unless we create queue manager, we cannot create the rest of the MQ predefined objects.
Got it.
Queue manager itself, MQ server and MQ engine. It
Mm.
encapsulates all the predefined objects. It provides services to the applications.
Right.
Applications must get the connection on the queue manager to access the queues to perform put and get operations. After WebSphere MQ installation, very fast we create queue manager. Once it is created, in its control, we can define queues, channel, listener, purpose, name list, and service. Okay. Do you have any questions?
No, it's all going good.
Please remember, queue is a file and data structure. It is
Mm-hmm.
empty. It holds messages.
Right.
To understand queue and queue very clearly, we have to compare it with the database. In
Right.
DB engine, we create tables to hold data as records permanently.
Right.
Whereas in server, we create queues to hold data as messages temporarily.
Oh, that's a nice one. Okay. Mm-hmm.
If an application wants to put the message on queue or get the message from the queue, first it has to get the connection on the queue manager. For that, application use MQ interface. Applications talk to the MQ server with MQ interface, nothing but MQI or MQ API. First it creates the connection, then it opens the queue. It performs either put or get. Then it closes the queue. Finally, it disconnects from the server.
Right.
So if you take a Java program, it must use JDBC drivers to communicate with the database, right?
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, any application, if it wants to talk to the queue manager or MQ server, it has to take the MQ interface. Then when it can create the connection on the server, it can open the queue, it can perform either put or get, then it can close the queue, and then it can close the connection from the server. Okay.
So,
I show
so
you
for a Java application, it will be a JDBC driver, right?
to connect the database.
Yeah. And
That
for an okay.
has to communicate with the MQ server, it has to take the help of MQ interface, nothing but MQ API.
And for Oracle and let's say other database, DB2 and Informix, like we use Informix a lot for GL.
So
Those are,
that drivers are nothing but an interface only,
no,
right?
I get it. I get it. I get that part. But what I'm saying is, these are all compatible with it, right?
I show you some sample programs, then you can understand very clearly about MQ interface. We no need to worry about the development here. As the administrator, you need to administrate the predefined objects and services with the
Hello.
predefined. That's it.
Hello.
Yes, Shahil, can you hear me? Yeah, Shahil. Hello. Can you hear me, Shahil?
Okay, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. So this is sample C program. It wants to put the message on MQQ. Can you see this?
Yeah, I can see that.
I selected statement it is includes for MQI. MQI stands for MQ interface.
Right.
The developer included MQ interface in this program.
Mm-hmm.
Now this C program can use that interface to talk to MQ server, right?
Right.
What MQ interface provides MQI calls. So very fast, the program has to create connection on the server, right?
Right.
Connect to queue manager. For that, program use MQCon. It is a function or method or MQI call. Using this, it creates the connection. After that, it opens the queue to put the message or to get the message.
Right.
So for that, it can use MQ open function. So if it wants to put, it creates the message. It uses the MQ code to put the message. If it is the get, it uses MQ get to get the message.
What is this you're showing me? This program? What is this program that you're showing me?
I'm showing you MQ interface, how the program can use that interface, what it contains.
Okay, so that program has to call this interface to interact
Uh,
with MQ, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So to close the queue, application can use MQ close. To disconnect from the server, can use MQ disk.
Right.
MQ con, MQ open, MQ put, MQ get, MQ close, and MQ disk. These are all MQ calls provided by the MQ interface. Any
Okay.
can use this interface to communicate with the MQ server to put the message or to get the message.
Right.
Developers will take care developing the programs and all as per the business requirement. We no need to
Right.
worry.
So Madhu, that's my thing. You know what? I have to. My job is to set up the architecture and the environment of this, so that the developers. Let me give a little background why I'm doing this. Right.
Okay,
Uh, we have a MQ infrastructure, but it's not exactly been used the way it should be used. It's a total mess.
okay,
So I've been tasked with restructuring the whole thing so that and that's why we said we're using IIB for that, right?
okay,
So now what happens is I want to kind of separate the tasks of a developer from the admins.
okay,
So what's happening? The developers are admins and everything. So
okay,
my task is to separate these two developers from the admins and give them, the right security levels and give the admin work to the admin. To do
okay,
all this, I have to understand deeply what exactly is required, right?
okay,
And then give them and then create a scaled or not a scale, but a high available, multi-instance environment. I've been doing a bit of studying about it also,
okay.
right?
Uh,
So I'm going to be asking you a lot of stupid questions. Pardon me for that.
no, everything is valid here. Don't say.
So this is my idea. I want to get the developers out of the admin part. So that's my goal right now. And in the process, understand how MQ can be managed, and also that the admins who are under me can also work. I can manage them easily. Hello.
Okay,
So that is
okay.
my end goal for learning this. So I'll be asking a lot of questions which may not be part of what you teach, but may be relevant to what I see as a problem at work.
Yeah, everything is
Right.
relevant.
Right.
Uh,
So just to give you my background, what I'm expecting.
yeah, yeah, I
So
understood.
yeah.
Here, the only thing is, based on the requirement, and the architect will come to know uh, what kind of messaging environment is required at the MQN, and what are the objects the programs need to use to connect the server and to put and get the messages, and to enabling the applications to reconnect the servers whenever failover or failback happens. That kind of things need to done by the developers. Okay. As an administrator, what you have to do is just creating the queue, getting the requirement in the respective environment. It may be development, it may be testing, it may be QA, it may be prod. Okay. That all you come to once if you understand what is point to point, what is client server, what is clustering, what is clusters overlapping, how all these can work together, how to enable security on the channel, how can we enable the security on object at object level.
Right. Right.
Okay, all together if you know, then we will get an idea uh, uh, to get the to enable high availability in the okay.
Right. So my primary aim is to get the developers segregate their profiles. So right now it's all mix, and there's a lot of push-pull going on. Developers are doing this and that. So I want to make sure that I have the right
Uh,
everything in place for them. Yeah.
what we're going to do is we share just server name and queue name and some details about the server to the developers, except that we don't share anything after.
Yeah, that's what I want to get them to that point that you don't need anything. That's it. Do your work. That's it.
Yeah, queue manager name, queue name, and the server IP, port number, and the connection name. We can share
Right.
this
So
to the developer. As per the business requirement, they define the logic and they enable the program to connect our server on the remote host or on the local host. They put and get the messages. When the developers developing the program, they dedicate user ID to the program to talk to the MQ server. To that
right.
particular
So
ID,
Madhu, that's why I was asking you, because now we are planning to use IIB broker. So uh, we're working with somebody who can set it up for us. But the thing is, again, that's a console base, and all the workflows are defined using the IIB. I'm sure you have used it, or I'm sure you are aware of it.
so are
Use
you
the
talking
Yeah.
about message plus bar files?
I'm sorry.
Are you talking about IID bar files?
Yeah. So I want to make sure that the developers are just out of the MQ part of it, as long as we give them access to the IIB, and that's it. If they want to deploy the bar file.
Yeah, just as the administrator, we need to deploy the bar file into the execution group. After that, we need to check whether uh, uh, deployed bar file is in the right execution group or not. Is it running or not? That we check. As a developer, they need to care about the input queue name, output queue name, defining the logic in the complex node and all. Okay, that part comes under IIB, don't worry. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Good.
your administration, then you can go for the IIB.
Hmm.
That don't worry.
Now, now you understand my issue here. So I need to get a deep understanding of what the
Uh,
developers and the admins are doing, so I
End
can
of
set it up for them.
the day, uh, you can and I you can become SME or ISME in this part. Don't worry.
Okay. Great. Thanks.
So I show you one architecture, the one diagram. You might have this kind of configuration in your environment. All together, all together. Client and server, DQM, multi-wrapping, clustering, clusters overlapping, triggering. Uh, we enable two-way communication, sending requests and receiving the response.
Okay.
This is how uh, we need to understand things.
Okay. This is the cluster. Okay. This is an
This,
overlapping cluster, if I'm not wrong. Is it?
uh, yeah, with intermediate queue manager, we overlap the clusters.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Intermediate queue manager, we configure multi-instance to
Okay.
enable availability.
Okay. Great.
Between clusters, you should not enable direct communication. Why? Because it is administration overhead. So that we join the clusters with an intermediate queue manager. Between the clusters to enable high availability, we configure multi-instance queue manager and the
Good.
gateway.
Good. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, we can see those architectures later on, but right now, we can work on the initials so that it's.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So many things we have like this.
So let me ask you: are there more students in this class, or I'm the only one?
You are the only one in this stuff.
Well, that's even better. Then it'll be easier for me to, talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Then I won't be interrupting anybody else.
So you are clear up to this, right?
Sorry?
You are clear up to this, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm clear. Yeah, I'm very clear up to this point. Yeah.
Okay. So
No, the
here,
idea is the reason why we're doing it is people want to go to Amazon. I'm saying no, we do it ourselves. So that's the whole thing.
okay, no need to take the assistance from anyone. Once if we can learn, the whole architecture you can design on your own.
Yeah, I mean, I will. I don't know how the how we do the hours here, but I will discuss a lot of architecture with you. If that's okay with you.
To which project are you planning? Is it retail domain or health domain or insurance banking?
It's a health and it's a government domain basically, and we do a lot of applications for New York. Yeah.
Okay, okay, no problem. So here you must remember the formula about the command. It is a combination of verb plus noun.
Okay.
Okay. If you can remember this formula, then you can easily remember all the commands.
Okay.
So command equal to verb plus noun. So our initial object is queue manager, right?
Yeah.
It is an object come service. It is an object come service child.
Okay.
So on, on an object, the valid operations are only four. They are create, display, alter, delete, right?
Uh,
On the service, we have only two valid operations. They are start and stop.
okay.
And one more is we can check the status of that service. So here, queue manager is an object come service so that we can create it, we can display its definition, we can change its definition, we can delete it, we can start it, we can stop it, we can check its status and all. Hey, please remember that.
Right.
So, how to display MQ version and release MQ. So every day you log into the new servers, right? So on that server, you don't know which MQ version you install. So very fast, you need to execute command DSP to know the MQ version.
Right. Right.
DSP stands for display, MQVR stands for MQ version.
Okay.
Display MQ version is the noun. So how to create queue manager? The command is crtmqm queue manager name. Example crtmqm SQL.
Right.
Object name can be anything. Object name can be alphanumeric. Object
Okay.
name have maximum 48 characters. It is case sensitive. Okay.
Say that again.
Object names are case sensitive.
Ah. Okay.
All the object names we define only in uppercase for
Okay.
portable. Okay. CRT stands for create. MQM stands for MQ series Q manager. Create is the verb. MQ series Q manager is the noun. Okay.
Okay.
Q manager status is ended immediately by default. How to start Q manager? The command is strmqm Q manager name. Example strmqm Q manager name test. How to display Q manager status? The command is dspmq.
Right.
The command displays all the queue managers irrespective of the name. If we know the queue manager name, then we can use the flag -m to display the respective queue manager status. Okay.
Right.
So if we can start, we can stop. If we can create, we can delete, right?
Right.
So stop or end queue manager. The command is nmqm queue manager name. Example nmqm. How to delete queue manager? command is DLT MQ
Let me
manager.
stop you here. I did all these operations uh, for trying it out, right? But there were some errors that it gave. It did not clean the files correctly and all that. So how do you deal with that situation?
See, if you bring down the queue manager, sometimes few processes will be alive in the background. So we have to find always orphan processes of that particular queue manager. We have to kill them. Then only we can restart the server. Okay.
Okay. But if I want to delete, I'm talking about delete. Sometimes that var mqm mq deleting
Simple,
that also doesn't help.
simple. You have to go to the var npm. There
Yeah.
you can find the configuration file on name nps.ini. From that configuration file, you have to remove that respective queue manager information chain, and you can go to the var npm queue managers.
Right.
From here, you can delete the queue manager directly.
I did
And
that. That didn't work. Yeah.
the npm log. From here, you can delete the queue manager directly. If any. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
Then the queue manager information no more on that particular server.
Because when I was trying it and to recreate with the old name, it was giving me error saying that it already exists and all that.
At that time, you have to go to this. Go to
mqs.ini. Now each queue manager has one mqs.ini file.
no. That is qm.ini.
So what is mqs.ini?
This is the system-wide configuration file for WebSphere MQ. It contains information about all the available queue managers on that host.
Okay, so I have to go and delete that entry from there, right?
Yeah.
If I have multiple queue managers running on it, then okay, got it. Okay,
Just it contains information about what are the queue managers available on that host. Except that it does not contain anything.
okay, good, good.
qm.ini is queue manager configuration file. It contains that particular queue manager configuration data like how many primaries are defined, how many secondaries are defined, what is the queue manager logging size, what is the each log file size, what is the defined number of max active channels, max channels, and you can find the information about the error log file size for that queue manager. You can define some tuning parameters to improve the performance of the server.
Right,
Okay.
correct.
I hope you are clear. Any questions from you?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just going along as from what we saw. So we were facing these issues. That's why I was asking you. Don't delete all this. Just keep it on the file. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So here, let me open my command prompt. So this is the Windows, but show you on Linux also. Does not matter. Commands are same. Let me start my Red Hat Linux and my VMware workstation. Then
So Madhu, let me ask you, what is your availability like?
what is?
What is your availability like?
I'm sorry.
What is your availability for these classes?
My availability. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, are you interested to attend weekend classes or regular classes?
And that's why I'm asking you. I'm a bit of flexible and in a hurry to do this, so I was wondering what is availability. If it can be,
I work in a time shift, yeah. Actually, my shift is 5 o'clock to 3:30.
I'm sorry, I missed all that. Say that again.
Uh, I'm working in a prime shift, US prime shift, like 5 o'clock PM to 3:30 AM IST. It would be morning 7:30 CST, sorry, EST to in the I think 5 o'clock.
So till 5 EST you work, 5 p.m.
Yeah,
EST you work, right?
yeah.
Okay. So after that you are free.
Here it is early morning, right?
No. In US time, you are free after 5 p.m. EST.
Yeah.
Okay, that suits even better. So now I know the number of hours you're allocating is 20 or whatever. She said 35, right? Something like that.
20 hours. Uh,
Okay.
but sometimes it may take 2 or 3 hours more.
Okay. So for that, it is what, $350?
So you need to talk to with the call coordinator. What they charge, I don't know exactly.
Okay. You don't know the money part. Okay. Uh, don't tell her I told you.
Okay,
uh,
no.
no, but the real question is, can we be flexible with timings? I don't want to, like certain days 2 hours, certain days 3 hours, or something like that.
Uh,
After 5 p.m. EST.
See, 1.5 hour, it's fine to discuss as per your requirement. So,
I'm good
no,
with that. I'm good with that. So
yeah,
1.5 hours or 2 hours, let's say Monday or Tuesday or whenever, right? We can set up a session.
yeah, if possible, we can take 2 hours. It's maximum time. More than 2 hours, it doesn't work. Why? Because continuously I have to teach, continuously I have to listen without seeing faces and all, right? So, somewhat you feel bad. You
No, it's
cannot.
okay. We'll work it out. I don't want to go beyond the hours that they extended. So I know I have 20 hours with you. I just want to, kind of,
Yeah, we can concentrate initially for 1.5 hour.
yeah.
If possible, we can move to 2 hours time.
Right. So basically, I just want to stagger it as and when we require it. I don't want to put so much like 5 hours or 6 hours at one time. 2 hours is, I think, more than enough per
Yeah,
session, right? Okay. No, but since I'm the only one, so we can be flexible with that if that's okay with you.
yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. So I'm sorry. Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me resume my particular NF unit. You are comfortable with my presentation, right?
Say that again.
You are comfortable with my presentation, right?
Yeah, it's good. Seems I know. It seems like you know what you're talking about. So it's okay, much more than I do. So I can't judge. Yeah. But it'll be great help for me in the sense that what issues I am trying to resolve, I
Okay.
can't resolve them till I know the depth of it.
Yeah,
I,
you
I'm
can.
basically not a I'm basically not an MQ admin, right?
Okay.
But when you hear a lot of people talking bullshit, you have to give them an answer for that. Yeah.
It's very easy. Yeah. Don't mind.
No,
End up.
I worked on it for 2 weeks. I just started looking at it for 2 weeks, reading and studying all those. I have the whole environment with me.
Yeah, if you complete the training, end of the day, you are an expert. You
Yeah,
can.
no, but I'm going forward. I won't be doing MQ administration work, right?
Okay.
Nor I will be doing the development work. My job is to make sure these two teams are not killing each other.
Okay. So if you can understand this NQ and all, then for you it is easy to understand custom.
No, because every like questions like this come to me that okay, we should have security on this guy and we should have rights on that guy, and I don't understand the security to a tech. I'm a technical hands-on person, right? So I need to understand that. If I don't understand it, I
Yeah.
can't even tell them what to do.
We can discuss about object level security, channel
Yeah,
security.
that's my biggest thing. That's
All
why
those
the
things.
first thing I ask for security. You know.
Yeah. Sure, definitely. So, so here I created queue manager. Let us see is ended immediately by this one, so that we bring it up. So STR and QM queue manager name. So we can check the status. Here it is running. Do you have any default queue managers on your production servers or on?
Yeah, we have one. That's what I'm saying. We just have one queue manager which is behind the broker, and all the applications talk to it with a lot of.
Is it default queue manager?
I'm sorry.
Is it a default queue manager?
Yeah, there's only one default queue manager, and there's like 100 queues in there, and I don't even know which one is going where.
Queue manager can have multiple queues, no problem. See here,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because when they install IB broker,
command
it
DSP MQ
attaches
-.
itself to one queue manager, right?
See, this is the command to know the default queue manager of that server. DSP MQ-O default.
Right.
So no queue manager is the default on this host, right? What I will do is, so let me create one more queue manager, one name SPM here. While creating it, I give it as -q.
Right. Right. Hmm.
Already exists. 1 minute. Let me delete it. We can configure queue manager as default queue manager either at the time of creation or after creation. At the time of creation, to configure queue manager as default queue manager, we can use the crtmqm-q queue manager name. Now this queue manager becomes default queue manager to the host. So one queue manager per host, we configure it as default. Why? Because no need to hard code the queue manager name in the program. So if no queue manager name in the program, that program by default connects the default queue manager on the host. So you can check DSP MQ-O default, which is the default queue manager, test queue manager, right?
Right.
If you want to change the default queue manager, what we have to do is we have to go to the RMQM. Here we have the file mqs.ini, right? Open it. So go to end of the file. Here you can see the standard default queue manager,
Right. Right.
test queue manager.
Yeah.
Now what I will do is I change it as test queue.
Right.
I execute the command dspmq-o default, which is the default queue manager.
Test QM. Yeah.
So if I run the command run MQSC followed by queue manager name, then it provides the run MQSC console for that queue manager. If I
Right.
don't
Right.
provide manager name, then it provides the MQSC console for the default queue manager. Now we are in the default queue manager, right?
Yeah.
So here I can create rest
Channel.
of predefined objects. Let me create multiple queues here. Define queue local of Q1, define queue local of Q2, define queue local of Q3. Like this, I created multiple queues. Suppose I want to know how many queues are available in the server. So echo display queue of star type symbol MQSC queue manager name type symbol find grep queue wc -l.
Hmm.
How many?
52. Hmm. Let me
Uh,
ask you a quick question. If I
Sometimes
want to,
it may give the wrong result here. Let me use type. Now how many?
yeah, can you get rid of the grep and the wc-l? Just run echo display. Yeah, just run that.
Uh, if you run up to that, what will happen is just it displays the queue definitions. That's it.
Yeah, it'll display all the queues. Okay. Okay.
If you want to display only application queues, then you can use the prefix.
Okay.
These
Got
are
it.
all the prefixes created by us, right?
Great. Great. Yeah.
How many there are?
3.
How can you say that? You have to use the command, right?
No, from what I see is 3, right?
In the real time, you may have thousands of queues. At that time, how can you find the number of queues? This is the command. How many application queues we created?
3.
Three. This is a weekend. These are all known as filter commands.
Now I can create the queue manager using the MQ Explorer also, right?
What, yeah?
No, using the MQ Explorer also I can create the local queues, right?
Yeah, you can see the local
Okay.
queues, you can see the alias queues, remote queues, model queues.
Okay.
Some we cannot get the access to that console and all. At that time, we have to use the commands.
Right, right, right.
For suppose we have a change request here, Shahil.
Yeah.
One change request, you need to create multiple queues on the server. For
Mm.
suppose created, the activity is completed. So in the next day or or on the same day, someone created again the uh, change request to roll back the what you did. Okay. So at that time, how can you find what are the queues created on the server based on the created date, right? So run PSC queue
CRT date, right? CRT date. Yeah. Mm.
display queue local of prefix dot star whereof cr date equal to today's date, year, month, and the date,
Right, right.
like this.
Oh, excellent.
Now we can delete all the queues.
So if you just do display Q local QL and just QL.Q1, this will
Okay.
give you all the details, right?
Yeah, it displays the whole definition of that object.
Can you just run that command, display Q local QL.Q1, enter? So I can do where on any of these, Q depth and define and all those, right?
Okay. Anything. If you want to sort out the objects, you can take any attribute.
Okay, okay.
For suppose you want to display all the application queues which are having max depth greater than 50,000, then what you can do is greater than 50,000.
Okay,
Unknown
GT, okay. Oh,
greater than 50,000, right?
uh,
If it is a
oh,
5,000, then you can find the list of queues.
okay, got it.
Display queue local of greater than. This is not greater than equal to or greater than or equal to.
Okay, G. So, what are these parameters you can use? G. Uh,
Greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, greater than, less than,
okay,
uh, equal to. Like this, we have multiple.
okay. Is there a listing that we can find out from somewhere of these?
Display q local of the prefix dot star thereof. Don't type anything, hit the enter to get the syntax.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Okay,
Like this.
okay, okay. Great.
This is like, this is not
Okay.
not like,
So,
less.
these operators are on the IBM website, right? They should be available there, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They documented.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'll look that up. Great to know it's there. Yeah.
Okay. This is how we can learn. Yeah. I'll show you that. So here we have CM data, right? We can open this file. We can know the defined primary, secondary, the log file size, logging type, the log file path, and all. Okay.
So let me ask you, the service component that you have, the module AMQ,
It
ZFQ.
is the it is the built-in one. It is nothing but OAM, Object Authority Manager.
So we will
Uh,
talk about these modules, right?
yeah, it is going to authorize the clients.
Okay. MQSeries Unix.auth service. Okay. We need to talk about this later when we get time.
Yeah,
Okay.
AMQ ZFQ is the OAM service,
OAM is
Object Authority Manager. What
okay.
it does is whenever client uh, requests the connection on the server, it finds the client user ID, it authorizes the client.
Okay.
Client has the authorities to access the objects, then it can get the connection, it can use the queue to perform either put or get. Otherwise, it throws. That means OAM rejects the connection by
Okay.
throwing the of 2035 not authorized. Okay. If we change anything on qm.inf, we must recycle the server to take that configuration change effect on the key manager.
Let me ask you one thing. When we recycle the queue manager, do we lose the data in the queue manager or it freezes? What
Yeah,
happens?
the data is non-persistent. It is deleted. Only persistent data recovered during that recycle.
So how do we tell the application that this data is persistent or not persistent? How does that work out?
See, it depends. Based on the business requirement, the application decides the message persistence. If application decides persistence, the queue will not change. If application does not decide, then queue will decide the persistence.
So what are the factors that the application will decide that the queue should be persistent?
It depends upon the business need only. We cannot assume that if the data is very valuable data to the business, then they make it persistent. If it is not that much valuable, that means even if they lose that data, no impact on the business, they make it non-persistent. All the transactions data will available as persistent data. All the non-transaction data will available as non-persistent.
Okay, good.
For suppose if you take the bank deposit, withdraw, check deposit, these are all very valuable, right?
Right.
So that data should be persistent.
Yeah. But then you can make persistence from the application side. You can from the application can tell the MQ that this data has to be persistent, or the MQ can also decide that this data we can make it persistent.
See, application is owner of the data, right? Application is owner of the data. So it can decide data as persistent or non-persistent. If application does not decide, then queue will decide in the server.
So that is an administrative function.
No, it is comes under development only. They need to request us to change the persistence at the queue level. So
Okay.
this,
So so just to be clear, the application will ask you to change the persistence at the queue level.
yeah. At
Then
that time,
all
we have
data then all
to,
data in that queue will be persistent, right?
no. Whatever the data already available on the data, the change will not take effect on the here onwards. If any new data comes to the server, then that change will take effect on those data.
Okay, we'll talk about this persistence more a little bit later. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Can you read this?
Yeah, I can see that MQ persistent, not persistent. Yeah.
So the program creates each and every message as not persistent.
Mm-hmm.
It's a final. If this program wants to create message as persistent, developer write the code like this.
Okay.
If application does not want to decide the persistence, if it wants to leave the persistence to the queue definition, then the developer defines the code like this: persistence as per queue def.
Right.
It's
So,
all the
oh,
requirement.
okay.
I hope you are clear. Yeah, Shahil, any
Yeah.
question?
No, actually, Madhu, thanks a lot. I mean, it was pretty informative. Uh, how do I get in touch with you other than this? Is there any alternate way of getting in touch with you through WhatsApp or something?
Yeah, we can have the communication. Just talk to them. Once if you are interested and once if you finish your enrollment, we can talk to each other, no problem.
Okay, so tell them that I'll enroll. How do I enroll now? Should I send them an email or what?
Just give your feedback on the demo session. Uh, then they call you back to
Okay,
discuss.
this Madhu, I need your word on this because this whole timing will be flexible. That's why contingent to like flexible timing. Since I'm the only one, so I want to make this timing kind of flexible. Obviously, contingent to your availability.
Okay,
That's okay with you, right?
mostly I will not take the off here. Sometimes if I feel very tired, then
No, that's okay. We can work that out. We just need 2 hours in a day or whatever, and then we can work that out. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we can make it.
So yeah, I will get in touch with your company, whatever that is. What's your company name?
It's
Brain
a
something. What?
big class.
BigClasses. Yeah.
Just share your feedback. Then they call me about the to discuss timings and all. Once if I finalize, then you can enroll. No problem.
Yeah. Again, I'm saying it's flexible.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. I need that 20 hour or whatever hours that are allocated. I just need that slot. Okay.
yeah. That's it.
All right. Thank you, Madhu. Thank you so much.
If you have any concerns, let me know about this training session and all. Yeah, about presentation and all. Okay.
No, but I told you my issue, right? Why am I doing this, right? I'm not going to be doing hands-on admin, but I need to understand this whole process from
Okay.
application standpoint, from developers and the admin standpoint. So
Okay.
unless I don't go deep into it, I look stupid trying to talk about it, right?
Okay. Thank you.
And I'm not trying telling it. I don't know,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So that's my aim here. So it won't be exactly admin, but from application perspective, also I need to understand this well.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Sure.
Okay. Thank you so much, Madhu. I'll tell them that we are on for this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye
for
bye.
your time.
Have a good day. Bye bye.